Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer. You're here. I'm here. I'm going to build some model kits. You're going to hang out and chat or just watch and not be in the chat because you're watching later on YouTube or, oh, it's just subscribed. This is the 9 months in a row. Thank you so much for your continued awesome support. Throw the Bear Cave emote in there if you're in the chat. I was just talking about it in the chat room. If you're there in the chat live, if you're watching this live, throw a Bear Cave emote in there if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, maybe it's time for you to become a subscriber. I don't know. Might be. You can use your Twitch Prime account, link your Twitch, your Amazon together, get a token, use it for me, spend $5 to support the channel, let me keep doing these cool streams. I don't know. It's an option. We're going to wait a minute or two, let a few more people pop in, see if we get anybody in chat. Once again, thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate that. Tonight we're going to work on our Double X, the second of the mainline Gundams from Gundam X, a poorly received Gundam series that has some pretty cool mechs in it. We'll be building. We'll be talking. We'll talk anime. We'll talk current events. We'll talk about the Xbox new ableist controller. Or not ableist. That ableist is the wrong term for that. We'll talk about the new controller and how it's helping folks out with able gamers. I meant to say able gamers, helping out with that, which is rad as hell. And whatever else we want to talk about in the chat. I'm up for just about anything. I'm going to wait a minute or two before we go to the main feed. The overhead shot. The new overhead shot. That's right. As you know, if you've been watching the past couple weeks, actually, you know what? It's hot in here. I want to cool down a little bit here. Let's switch this up and cool down a little bit. There we go. Much better. I played around with a bunch of settings and a bunch of features. The first one that I've been playing around with is the new. I got a new arm for my camera. It's actually right here. It's up in here. I think it's a better overhead shot. It's a better angle. I'm excited to try it. It's also on a tripod that is not attached to the table that I'm using because when I got two monitors, it made the table jiggle a lot more, and I don't want my camera to jiggle every time the table moves. So now I've moved it. That should be better. Um, and then I'm trying low latency streaming tonight. We're gonna see how that goes. First time trying that out. It should be very quick between me saying something and you hearing it, so that won't really affect things on this show too much. If I ask a question, you'll probably get it faster and respond faster. Because since we're not streaming games, it's not super necessary. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to do. Um, if you are a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote there. Harold, thank you for hosting the stream. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, throw the emote in there. If you are a subscriber, let me know by throwing that Bear Cave emote in there. Let me know what's up. Harold, thank you very much for hosting. I do appreciate that. But yeah, we got some people here watching. We're going to try stuff out. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so this low latency thing seems to be doing okay. If it becomes an issue for all of y'all, let me know, and I can always undo it. I'm not married to it, especially for, it's not like, if we're doing a Jackbox game, I'd rather it be, quick, but it's kind of okay for what we're doing here. So if it does, oh, Mr. Bob, hello. If it does become an issue, let me know. But I want to give it a shot. I mean, what I can see in the video preview, it's pretty quick. It's pretty snappy. Yeah, so this is the new camera. The camera's right here above me. Overhead shot. I've been adjusting it here and there, trying to get it just right. I think this is good. I like it. I don't know. Let me know if you hate it. But I think it's cool that it's like directly overhead. Harold with the cheer, thank you very much. Jumping to the top of the leaderboards with that cheer. So yeah, so we're working on the Double X. It's right here. What we worked on the body and the backpack. We worked on the head. Put up there. We worked on the arms. And now we're working on the shoulders. I did a little snipping, as you can see. As you know, I enjoy doing some work outside of the stream to get my fingers moving. So I'm going to continue. Let me know if you're working on anything. As always, send me tweets if you're doing any model kit creation, doing any painting, if you're working on minifigs, if you're doing anything. I always like to hear what y'all are working on. So please feel free to let me know if you're doing any kits or anything. It's always cool for me to hear. I put up today on my YouTube channel a mailbag video. Somebody sent me the heavy arms from Gundam Wing, the original version of the heavy arms, the first version. I'm very excited to work on that kit. Mr. Bob, you're troubleshooting Windows updates. Yes, a Windows update went live yesterday. For me, I had to every USB device I've ever plugged in, I had to re-plug in and had to re-find it. And then in OBS today, I spent about 15 minutes trying to figure out why my mic wasn't working. And what I ended up having to do was unplug my mic and plug it back in. And then it registered and worked fine. But it was already plugged in during the update, apparently, so it didn't register it when I updated. You're making a Windows update server. All right, Mr. Bob. Well, good luck with that. It was, yeah, it was pretty frustrating. I'm glad I did all the upgrade stuff I need to do, update stuff I need to do before I got home, because I was working until 8 o'clock tonight and then raced home in order to be able to stream with y'all in my normal time. I covered a partial shift, so I had to I did all my updating today, and luckily I got it all done and did a test and everything, because I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to get stuff done in time. All right, so we're going to put two of these aside. We're now working on our right shoulder armor. So we're going to take a thing that we built here, and then an E and an A. Put these H's aside. E137. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I worked tonight from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. Just a half shift, and then left the theater in capable hands and raced home because I wanted to be able to do my my stream tonight. I didn't want anything to get in the way of me streaming with y'all. I had the wrong E. There we go. 37. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I didn't want anything to get in the way of doing this, so I only worked part of the night, which was fine. Got to see some stand-up, saw a friend I haven't seen in a while, which was really nice. And mostly just kind of chilled. Did my work, finished up, came back home, got all this set up, and then here I am streaming for all y'all. Yeah. I know, yeah, as you know, Comic Girls is the show that I've been talking about a lot. I did not watch today's episode. I will watch it and talk about it on Saturday. But I have been watching a couple shows. I think the thing I actually want to talk about right now is a show that you may know that I knew of and I've watched clips of, but never actually watched the whole thing. And that show is called Sword Art Online. Now there's two sequels to the show, at least one movie, and a spin-off series of the third season, like a what if spin-off. So it's certainly I'm new to the series, but it's not like this is not a new thing what I'm talking about right now. But it's new to me because I never really watched it, and I have to remind myself that when it came out, the wake up inside a video game genre, or trapped inside a video game genre, wasn't overplayed. There are other shows that did it, certainly, but it wasn't as overplayed as it kind of feels now. And I'm enjoying it. One thing I'll say, the show is basically like 2 episodes in, immediately in the first episode, you get the premise out there, you know what's going on, it's there, everything's happening. and I knew that the show got like didn't wasn't afraid to be like heavy and kind of dark. I did not realize that it would be so heavy and so dark immediately. Like unbelievably, like the third episode, I was like kind of fucked with, kind of my head, like felt bad, felt for the characters. Now, I've been told that as the show goes on, it's less cool, it's less good, there's less character development, it's less of a good show as it goes on. That's what I've been hearing. People have been telling me that, uh, and which is a bummer because I've liked what I've seen so far, and it's a shame that that it doesn't hold up or keep up. That's a bummer because like I said, I like what I've seen so far. But I think I'm like 6 episodes in, and I'm gonna at least finish the first season, if not watch the second one. Um, I already know I know the fucked up shit that happens in the second season. I'm aware of the messed up shit, so I might not. I might skip that when it comes to that. But I don't really know much about the Gal Gun, or not Gal Gun, but the gun one, the gun version of the show, which now there's a sequel to, with like a reimagining that's on right now. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, I'm gonna refresh this, because I'm not seeing anything in chat right now. So if you could do me the solid, and if you could throw a Bear Cave emote or words, anything, put anything in the chat. I'm not saying you guys have to chat. Y'all have to. But if you could just throw something in there, let me know that that's working so I don't have to figure out why that's not working. That would be great. I'd appreciate it. Because I'm not seeing anything in the chat right now. So if somebody wouldn't mind throwing something in there, just so I know that it's working. Because right now, it doesn't. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. And that's totally possible that y'all are just being chill and respectful and quiet. That's totally plausible. But it seems unlikely that no one would be chatting. So if you are chatting, I cannot see you. There we go. Harold and Mr. Bob both said, okay, y'all are just being quiet. That's cool. That's totally fine. Harold, thank you for the test. Mr. Bob, thank you for jumping in the test on there. Sometimes y'all are quiet, and that's fine. I'm going to look up the other name of this anime I'm watching. I also started watching, like I said, there's nothing new for me to watch that I'm interested in. So I'm also watching something very old, and I'm going to go look for it now. Let's see my mouse. Oops. Sorry, I'm going to use my mouse right here. I'm going to look up the name of this other anime I'm watching. Where'd it go? Okay. Kaze no Stigma. Kaze no Stigma is old. It's like, Mr. Bobby got blocked by your own updates. Oh no. So Kaze no Stigma is an old anime. I think it was like the mid 2000s. It might be 10 years old. It might be 11 years old. I remember watching it on some anime service years ago. Maybe even fan subs. I might have watched it on fan subs years ago. But I don't really remember it. But the premise kind of seemed interesting. I saw it mentioned for the first time on a okay, so all right. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I do this right. I saw it mentioned for the first time on a one of those like weird anime like countdown lists, like top 10 anime where the MC is super overpowered, like one of those. I saw it on one of those lists, and I was like, huh, I think I remember the show, but I don't think I ever watched it. Basically, there's a family. Magic is real. There's a family for generations that has known fire magic, and they're like purveyors of fire magic and like the best gosh darn fire magic users you could ever imagine. Except there's this one dude who's not good at fire magic, has no talent for it, can't do it. And his dad is like one of the head families, so he should be good at fire. And like, basically, his dad is like, okay, well then, you gotta go, you gotta move out and leave, because you ain't good at fire magic. So then he comes back. Kazuma is the name of the main character. Kazuma. He comes back, and he can use wind magic, and he's fucking dope at wind magic. Like, he's really good at it. And so now he's like helping the family, like this large family that like abandoned him, and like he's got a younger brother that he cares about a lot, but he can't really like talk about loving him because, you know, he hates the bigger, wider family, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole gosh darn thing, and it's a lot, but it seems pretty good. Okay, so let's show this off. We now have a head on a body, and we've got arms, and they move around, and they do stuff, and the chest opens up, which is pretty cool. And yeah, oh, you can see that in an overhead shot. It's probably a little better, a little less washed out. A lot of this lighting is I'm pretty washed out because of the green screen. All right, that's real progress, y'all. We're doing it. Where'd it go? There. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty into it. Watching this old show. I'm bouncing between that and that. I finished King's Avatar, which is cool. I think I got used to the Chinese language. I mean, obviously I'm reading subtitles, but it was kind of wasn't hard, but it was pretty unique to watch a show where you don't speak the language. It was pretty odd when you're used to Japanese to hear Chinese dialogue. Is what I was trying to say. It was kind of unusual, but I was into it. It's like a good story. I don't know. You know, that's about it. Trying to think if there's anything else going on with me. Okay, so we got to put 2 of these on here. Right now, we are moving on to our waist. Moving on with our kit. Getting things done. Yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about tonight, feel free to let me know if there's something on your mind, something you're into, something that you can't wait to talk about. You want to hear Pat Baer's thoughts on it. I'll also keep thinking of things to say, certainly. Hopefully get a few more people come and check the show out tonight as we build. Just have a nice chill stream. Tomorrow I am doing a Q&A video for my patrons on Patreon. I do a Q&A video that's just for them that never goes on YouTube for anybody else. That's just available for folks that support me on Patreon. So I will be making a new video for them tomorrow and uploading that tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to doing that. It's one of the benefits. Even people that give $1 can get that, which is kind of fun. I usually get like a couple questions, and I'm going to make an announcement on that about a thing. So that's pretty cool. Jacob McCourt just cheered me 25. Thank you very much for that, Jacob. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Yeah, as we get later in the show, as always, I'll mention all the ways you can support this channel and blah, 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 yada, yada, all that nonsense. Yes, but thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. People are buzzing about Electronic 3 coming up. I was mentioned, like, won't be there. Never been. No plans. I am not a game developer or a games journalist, so there's no reason for me to go to the Electronic 3, or GDC or DICE or pretty much any of those types of conventions, or showings. Um, I am officially going though to San Diego Comic Con, and I already knew I was going, but I got my plane ticket set up today. So I'm definitely going to San Diego Comic Con. Like, there's a plane ticket with my name on it to and from. So I'm definitely officially 100% going. I knew I was, but like, sometimes until you get that like paper, you're like, all right, maybe something will fall through. But now that Oni, the wonderful fine folks at Oni, have decided to pay for my plane ticket, I'm definitely going to San Diego Comic Con in July, which is awesome. Can't wait for that. I also, out of my own dime, used a large portion of my tax return to pay for my flight to Seattle. So I'm definitely going to Seattle for PAX West. And yeah, those are the things that are coming out soon for me that I'm pretty excited about. In between those two, hello the Hollow and welcome. In between those two trips will be a convention here in New York that I will be going to. FlameCon, I believe I won't be performing there, but I believe I will be volunteering there. I'm still waiting to get confirmation on that, but I believe that I will be putting some time into that convention because I thought that would be a good use of my own free time, would be to do that, support that very cool convention. But yeah, if you're in the New York area in August, you want to go to a fucking rad comic convention with awesome people, great artists, a wonderful vibe. Cannot speak highly enough of FlameCon. It is rad as hell. I have gone to every single FlameCon. Cannot recommend it enough. It's a 2-day event. You could do 1 day. You don't really need to go. Like, there's panels and stuff, and those are cool. But really, you really want to go for. You really want to go and just buy some stuff. Go with a little bit of money. Buy some from some rad, very cool artists. Cannot recommend it enough. All right, so we're building our waist here. We're going to get into frame so you can see what's going on. F1 into D4. And that's D3. Yeah. There's nothing really to say about this kit. There's no like big surprises. The parts that kind of like break out, like oops, of course that headpiece comes off. But like the parts here that like pop open, you can see that. Like this kind of thing happens. That's, pretty standard for your main series Gundam to have like pieces pop open and whatever. And there's some gold pieces we'll see later that make an appearance. Like these gold pieces here for the satellite cannons. That's a lot of what this kit has as far as surprises. But it's pretty standard right now. We're just, making armor, putting armor on. So I think I started talking about this. I made a video because someone sent me a Heavy Arms from Gundam Wing, and then I also showed the Lego set I bought, and then I also bought, when I bought this new crane arm, I also bought another model kit. I got the Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan action figure model kit. And I'm looking forward to building that. I don't know what I'm going to build next. I should build the Heavy Arms next because it was sent to me, so I'll do that. And then after that, I'll do either the Lego or the Gohan. But I always say, like, if people are wonderful enough and gracious enough to send me kits through the internet, the least I can do is make them next. So I'll do the heavy arms next, which is as you all know, some of y'all know, not all of you, is from Gundam Wing. It's the guy with a gun that he holds. He holds a big gun. And he's got a knife on the other hand. And then eventually his arms are just two guns. That's the update. And then the Endless Walls version is he holds two guns in each hand. Two giant guns. It's the gun one. Alright, so we pop these in here. The skirt area of the waist is always the annoying part. These pieces are always pretty annoying. That seems to be okay. So I gotta say, y'all are pretty quiet in chat today, which is, I understand sometimes that happens. So I'll try to have some stuff to talk about. My travel stuff. Tickets have not gone on sale for PAX West, but have gone on sale for today for PAX Unplugged. So it's the last weekend in November. Basically December. And I fully 100% recommend that if you're in the Philly area, or it's easy for you to get to Philly, and you like tabletop stuff, PAX Unplugged is really good. The Hollow asked, did we do anime talk about it? We did. I didn't watch Comic Girls. I'll talk about that on Saturday. Didn't get a chance to watch that. I was busy today. But I talked about how I'm watching two old shows. One that's about 10 years old, Kaze no Stigma, which is good but feels of its time. I'm slowly making my way through that. I'm not in a rush to really watch that. And then how I'm watching the first season of Sword Art Online, which I never watched, and how it got dark fast and heavy fast, faster than I thought. I knew it got heavy. And I've been told that it doesn't hold up and that it loses its kind of it stops focusing on character development and just focuses on plot eventually. But right now I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's a pretty good show. Sean Murray is promising new stuff for No Man's Sky, and you're trusting more than I should. Well, I would assume, Mr. Bob, that since I believe they announced that there's an Xbox version coming, and that they would have new stuff for that. I mean, here's the thing. If they're saying they're going to have new things, I totally believe that. Now, what is new, and how much of it is new, and how much of it is unique and interesting, and what you, in your head, you decided No Man's Sky is, that's a bit of a different story. So, if they're from the ground up it's different, or if they're saying, hey, we did multiplayer finally, or if they're just new stuff is happening and it's cool, I would take everything they say with a grain of salt. I would say, if you have an Xbox and you never got No Man's Sky, maybe No Man's Sky would be good. Maybe you'd be into it. But if you have watched it before and you're if you have played it before, I don't know for sure if it's going to have enough new stuff. Or if it's just more than the last update. That kind of thing. The Hollow says, I know it's overly sexual. I keep hearing the episode 15 of Frax puts the show, Darling in the Frax puts the show in a better perspective. Yeah, I think I might actually watch that when it's all done. I've heard some interesting things. They finally do a bit of character development with the main characters and kind of show you some stuff, is what I hear. Yeah, I just kind of bounced off that show. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. All right, so we're done with the waist. It's got a thing here that can clip onto the back, which is kind of cool, but it will hide that. And then we'll put the waist aside and move on. Twist says they haven't built a model in a while. Well, I mean, if you got the time, if you can, dedicate the time and the resources to do it. As you know, I'm a big fan of building model kits, so I said go for it. All right, so we're going to leg unit. We're going to do the parts that you can just do, left and right that doesn't matter which side you do. Um, Stoffner just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime. I really appreciate that. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Bear Cave. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Folks that are already subscribers, throw that emote in there. Your next model is the Perfect Grade Red Frame. Okay. Hell yeah, man. That sounds awesome. Oh yeah, going back to what Mr. Bob said. Mr. Bob said about No Man's Sky, that you hadn't. It was a really bad game when it came out, and after the update, you put 100 hours in. Yeah, it sounded like people really liked the update, but people that had been playing for hours before the update, it didn't really help them that much. So it might be the case of if it's new to you, it's good. Yeah, the Hollow. I agree with you. Yeah, you can't save something that's bad with a twist. I don't think. But Contact is cool. The idea that they're building something that's cool, and it might be something where like, it might be for the people that stuck around with it that liked it enough or gave it a shot. That might be one of those things that like feels good as a payoff. I don't disagree with that idea. Yeah, Mr. Bob, I didn't play much of No Man's Sky, um, but I own it on the PC. PC, like, I mean, like, I just, yeah, I never really played much of it, but I know people that really love it, and maybe someday I'll also really love it, but probably not. Not PC. I had the PlayStation. Why did I say PC? I had the PlayStation, and I like it. I just didn't. I never loved it. Loved it. Um, but who knows? I come around on it. I think the important thing is to always like temper your hype, and it's a tough thing to say, but if you can temper your hype, like it goes a long way in this industry in particular, because people are trying to get you to spend $60 or $80 with the season pass and all that stuff, and they want you to spend your hard-earned money on something. Uh, and yeah, if you don't like it, it could be really demoralizing. But I always say hands-on impressions always sound better to me. Like, hey, marketing is marketing, right? And the real honest to God truth is a lot of times the marketing people aren't the companies. Um, especially the bigger companies out there. Obviously, No Man's Sky is this weird case where it's you have the devs being vague, and you have PlayStation being vague, and yeah. Well, I mean, Mr. Bob, the thing that you should always take into account is a lot of times the developers don't make the trailers. Other companies make trailers, and sometimes they're using footage of stuff that is targeted that they want in the game, and then or this was our proof of concept to get money from a publisher to make the game. Uh, but yeah, never trust a trailer. I mean, Dead Island, Dead Island, right? People watch that trailer, and people who don't know a lot about video games were like, "I'm going to get that game," and that game is a pretty good high C, low B tier game, but it's not that trailer. Like, I don't ever trust trailers. I barely trust humans, let alone trailers. But I mean, whoo! Like, I don't know. I mean, I've certainly been burned. I'm not saying that I haven't been burned in the past when it comes to believing in certain products and deciding that I know, that like and trusting marketing teams and all that. Like I've definitely been burned before. Don't get me wrong. Uh, but I try to go out of my way to like not listen to marketing and spin. I try to listen to people. Um, and not necessarily the people that make it, but like hey, there's something definitely to be said for. I know this person enjoys this genre, and they won't shut up about this game. Okay, I'll give it a go. I follow some people on Twitter that when they're talking about a certain game that I may have never heard of, but they're talking about it, all right, time for me to take a look. Like, that's kind of how I have identified, my purchasing dollars is by looking at people, not necessarily like product reviews from, like random companies and what they're saying about the game they're putting out. And sometimes, it still doesn't work. Sometimes you can listen to the right person and they just didn't click it the way it clicked with you, and it just didn't hit right, and you liked it more than they did. That certainly happens as well. Or someone you trust tells people they really like a thing, and you get it, and you're like, wait, what? Why do you like this? Yes. Will Smith is hosting. Thank you, Will, for that. You have to watch out for influencers. Yes, that is very true. You are not wrong at all, the Hollow. Uh, People should always be. I'm going to talk about this actually in my Q&A tomorrow, but I'll talk about it here. You should always look for when people are covering things, disclosures. If they say that they are paid to to play a thing, to show off a thing, you should take a look at it. Are they talking about flaws? Ever? Do they ever talk about what they don't like about a thing? That's not to say that you shouldn't trust people to be genuine when they are being genuine and give people the chance to speak their own opinion. There are certain people that like there are plenty of PUBG partners out there that have a deal where they get to do modes that we don't get to do, and get to talk about the game and get updates early and all that because they stream a lot and people watch their streams. But also some of them are very quick to talk about like stuff they don't like. They're like, oh, this mode is a bummer. I wish with zombies you could do this, like that kind of thing. And I know there are people out there that they don't want to have the illusion that someone's playing it because they're being paid to play it. But also, like, I have no problem with that kind of thing. Like I watch people's stuff, but I also like look at it. Like I really look at the product, right? Like I think that's incredibly important to be like not just what they're saying in the moment, but how the game looks and feels. And I'm going to be looking at Blizzard's card game when it comes out, right? I like card games. I have a vested interest in liking that card game. And as much as I think that Brad Muir is a fantastic human and I support him and I'm happy that he's working a job that he can, be creative and do something cool and feed his family and all that other stuff. Not Blizzard. I didn't mean I'm Valve. He works for Valve. Valve's new card game. Of course, I apologize. I said the wrong thing. Valve's new card game. I'm going to be looking at it with a critical eye and not just listening to the enthusiast influencer out there because they're like, if they don't talk, if I can look at it and go, that distribution seems off, and no one is saying that, and they're only talking about the positive parts, like, no thanks, not my thing. There was that tweet going around about how people that play games early, get games early, aren't real gamers, and it was just like, okay, yeah, all right, okay, come on, it was like so. It was such a ridiculous thing to see someone tweet about. It's like, okay, I'm sorry you don't get games in advance, but like that's not like a thing that you can throw at people. Now, do I think that not every streamer is professional? Not every streamer discloses what is a paid thing. Not every discloses what they can and can't talk about, or free or honest about what they're into. That's very true, and you have to keep an eye on that stuff, right? A lot of the streamers that I watch are very open about it. Only real gamers pay full price for games. Yeah, only real gamers. It's like that's just it's such a strange thing. Um, as the enthusiast press has changed, it's become interesting. Because I don't see a lot of people that accused that and still accuse IGN and GameSpot and Giant Bomb and One Up back in the day and Polygon and Kotaku. All those people that talk about money hats and being paid seem to be pretty quiet about when legitimately influencers get sent trips and get paid and don't disclose what the promotions and how like they couldn't say anything negative. They could only show pre-approved footage and all this other stuff. Like they don't disclose any of that. But sure, gaming outlets that were owned by publicly traded companies, those people were taking money. Sure. Ugh. Influencer culture is tough. I'm not trying to be preachy here, and I'm also not saying anything new. Um, but I always hope that people take things. It is definitely, you're right, the hollow. I always try to take things with a grain of salt on that kind of stuff, and I hope you as well. So know that every kit I build on my stream is either something I purchased with money that I got from Twitch, working, being an affiliate, or through my Amazon wish list, or Ko-Fi that people send some money to, or I buy it with my own money. All those things happen. No company has ever sent me a kit to build. That's not a thing that's happened. But in the future, that could. There is reason to believe that someday in the future, I could build a kit that someone from a company sent me, like something like a model shop could send me a kit in exchange for me mentioning their store, something like that. That could theoretically happen. I'm not opposed to the idea of it. I could do a panel for Build a Bear Workshop, and that could be sponsored. I could have a sponsored panel at some point. That's totally possible. And I'm not like saying that that's impossible a possibility. But know that if that is something that happens, y'all know about it. I'll talk about it. Same way that the grain of salt should be given to me, taken with me when I talk about anime, because my VRV, or my Verve.co account was gifted to me. So I watch anime on there and talk about products that are on that. Should be taken with a grain of salt. I'm not steering you wrong. I'm not lying. I'm not here promoting shows that I don't think are good and are interesting and things that I like. I'm only talking about the stuff that I'm interested in, or occasionally talking about the stuff that I really bummed by. But I also understand that people should, and think that people should take what I say with a grain of salt when it comes to that stuff, because I want you to believe me when I talk to you about things. I think I've cultivated that in my online presence, but I certainly would like to continue that and have people feel that when I talk to them about something, I'm being honest and earnest about it. So I do try to, have a grain of salt. So many 404 gets were sponsored by Cards Against Humanity. I think they did like 3, maybe 4 of my panels. They just paid for me to be out there, to be able to go to PAX when I was in financial trouble. They stepped in and helped out. And which is incredible of them, but hey, if I start talking about an expansion for Cards Against Humanity, maybe remember that they helped me out in the past, and they've been a great supporter of mine and my work. I do enjoy their works as well. It's just stuff to keep in mind. I think it's all helpful to keep in mind when you're watching content, right? Like, um, like if you're watching Hearthstone videos, right? Well, a lot of people are playing Hearthstone because viewers on Twitch watch Hearthstone. They still enjoy it. It's still a popular game to watch. So some players who probably want to play other things are playing that. Um, I know a few PUBG streamers who are now trying to play other things and not just hours and hours of PUBG. Because they've hit the point now where they've played a lot of PUBG and they'd like to play some other things. Maybe the shine is worn off a little bit. And that's always a dangerous thing. Um, if I ever hit the point where Build with Bear Workshop needs to evolve, we'll have a conversation about it. I don't see that happening in the future, but I can't say that I'm going to be doing this for 5 years or 10 years. That I'll be doing the same model kit building, the same Lego kit building. I can't promise that because that seems unrealistic for my own interests. Um, I'm certainly going to continue to do this stuff in the immediate future. Uh, you're right, talking about a shill. Like that's yeah, a bunch of Hearthstone streamers get to reveal cards, right? Because they're popular Hearthstone streamers, or they've done well in tournaments, or they're casters sometimes, or they do a talk show about Hearthstone, and they can still like Hearthstone. Um, one of the things that a lot why you see a lot of people play a game when it first comes out, there's a gentleman out there, Acolyte. There's a guy named Acolyte. Um, he is very fucking good at PUBG. Incredibly good at PUBG. He's been on the internet, and he's not like the coolest. He's not like the greatest dude. He might be not amazing, but he's really good at the game. And early on, people started watching his streams and started watching his YouTube videos. And he's been doing it for a long time, seemingly. Been doing this kind of thing for a while. So it seems to be that it just took off. And then he'll play other things and maybe people will watch. So you can always do stuff like that, and still like the things that you like and enjoy the things you enjoy and work on the things that you want to work on and all that stuff. And it's all there and doable. But a lot of times it just comes down to, are you being earnest and honest about what you're doing? And that's all I care about, right? If Kate Stark stopped playing PUBG, I and went back to playing Overwatch all the time, I'd be a little less interested in watching because I don't really like Overwatch. But I know that's because really likes Overwatch. So I'd be happy that she's playing what she wants to play, even if I don't necessarily think that it's a great game. Uh, and that's part of it. I know that there's a few streamers out there that play certain games out there, and then that's what they're known for, and that's what they have viewers for. And when they try to play something else, their viewers just get mad because that's not what they're there for. And I get that. That's a thing. It's part of the deal, and I understand that part of the deal. Okay. That goes in here. All right. And then that goes in here. I don't know. I always throw back to an interesting thing about ads and that kind of thing. Um, so when Secret Hitler was coming out, Max Temkin, many people know, went out of his way. I just dropped a piece that fell off of its thing. Hopefully I'll find that, and hopefully I won't need that today. E28. I dropped E28, so hopefully I won't need that right away. So Max, Tim Cantor Cards Against Humanity, who's one of the three people that made Secret Hitler, um, and he bought ad space on on podcasts that people like, including Giant Bomb. And then Giant Bomb was like, "Oh yeah, okay, Secret Hitler ads. It's not a video game, so that seems fine." But they're like, "Oh, really can't ever play Secret Hitler though because we took ad money for it. It feels weird." And it's like, "Oh yeah, that does feel weird." I don't know if I would have thought it felt weird otherwise, but when they said it, I was like, "Yeah, that does feel odd." Because they accepted money to promote it via an advertisement, and so it kind of would feel weird if they, like, maybe for a premium stream it wouldn't be bad, but not for a free game. But then it's like, I don't know, and then it's like, okay, like there's some audience that would have been into them playing it, but like once you take that ad money, then it's like, okay, well, are they playing it because they took ad money? Is that why they're playing the game right now? And it's like, no, but it could be that way. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird stuff. All right, let's take a brief moment. We're working on our legs right now. But right now, it's almost 10 p.m., which means it's time for me putting things in the chat. And then you could click on that. So if you're thinking like, hey, I really like this, I'd love to support Pat and the work that he does, you could become a subscriber on Twitch. You could spend $5 a month, $10 a month, and do that. You could use your Twitch coin if you have Twitch Prime, which you got through Amazon Prime. You could also become a patron supporter. My $5 patrons get the videos early. $10 get to vote on the kits I make several times a year. $1 supporters get a monthly Q&A that's just for my Patreon. You also could buy me kits on Amazon. Really is super helpful when a package shows up in the mail and it's a kit I get to build. Not only do I get that like, ooh, I wonder what it was, but it means that I have content to make for you on the stream. So that's a way you can support me. I always constantly updating, putting some new stuff in there, trying to things that I'd be interested in building that you might be interested in seeing me build, and not just the usuals. And then also I have a Ko-fi for one-time donations. Any of that money goes to me buying kits or buying equipment, like this camera that's pointed up here that I'm pointing at right now. This camera crane arm was purchased with funds from y'all, actually from Twitch. I got a Twitch deposit in my PayPal, and immediately took some of that money towards buying that crane and a bunch of other things. Okay. And that's about it. And then also word of mouth, right? Word of mouth is incredibly important. Word of mouth lets people know this is stuff, like, hey, retweet when I tweet out that I'm streaming, right? Tell your friends if if they like model kit building and Lego sets that, hey, this guy has a cool thing. The chat is small, but everybody gets to have a conversation and it's fun. It's pretty relaxing. You should check it out. That's huge. I'd love to get my numbers up as far as viewers go. I have a good after-show viewership on YouTube. I've got a nice dedicated crew that subscribes every month. You all are incredible, and I really earnestly appreciate all of that and the amount of time y'all put into the streams and following along and keeping up with what I do. I'm very lucky in that respect. But yeah, I'd like more people to be able to see what I'm doing and to be able to check it out. So there's that. That's about it. We'll get back into it. Got another half an hour or so of building on this Thursday night. This E-sheet, a lot of tiny pieces seem to pop off. I don't even know what number this one is, but it fell. I'll eventually figure it out because I'll go to pull the piece off and it won't be there. Oh, this is 7. This is E7 fell off. I'm putting E7 aside, and I have an E29 that fell on the floor. That's very frustrating and annoying. So yeah, we're working on the legs of this ducks. Uh, is the camera on the wish list still the one you're looking at getting? Let me double check. I believe, yeah. I mean, I'll make sure. Yeah, eventually I'd like to upgrade the camera. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. The Razor. Yeah, I've been looking to replace this camera that's focused on me here. I'd love to replace it with that one with the ring light. It would make lighting the green screen behind me a lot easier. Um, so that's on the wish list. I mean, the reason why it's on the bottom of the wish list is like I can live without it, right? I got two webcams; they both work. Um, that one would also be easier for traveling because I can't certainly can't travel with a lot of lights. Um, but yeah, I mean that's like the built-in light that's really reviewed well. Uh, that's certainly something that I'm interested in. But like I said, I think like always having kits ready to build, uh, I'm usually more interested in honestly. But I got a Lego set. I got a Gohan. I got a Harold taking off. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight, Harold. I've got a bunch of kits that are waiting for me to build them, so I'm not complaining too much right now. 36. 36, great. But yeah, it's at the bottom. I usually put like, the less glamorous stuff kind of goes down there. Tools that would be helpful for what I'm doing. And some of the stuff I've just bought myself here and there as I have like some sales. Well, got here. The Hollow is now hosting the stream. Thank you very much for that, The Hollow. Appreciate it. Letting people know what's up. Yeah, hosting has been very cool. But yeah, it's like a lot of times it's like, hey, if you just follow this and you see my tweets and you come in when I tweet, like, give me a follow if you haven't already here on the channel so that you get and set your notifications so you get updates. Like that's a easy way of people finding about like keeping track of when I stream. Obviously, I do Thursdays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Eastern. That's when I stream every day or every Thursday and every Saturday. Not every day. Oh man, if I streamed every day, I would go through like if I streamed 5 days a week, I would go through a kit. I would do like a kit and a half, I guess, like a model kit and a half a week. Oh, it'd be cool because I would build a lot, but I would have to have a benefactor if that was the case, or I wouldn't build every day, which I don't want to. Like I like my monthly game stream, May 28th, 3 p.m. Monday, May 28th, 3:30 p.m. till 5:30 p.m. Eastern is when I'm doing my bonus game stream. I do my monthly stream where I play games. We'll do some Jackbox party games, as well as something else. I don't know what else. I've been thinking about maybe playing a dating sim, which could be fun, and get input from the crowd about like what I should do with the low latency. That might be kind of cool to do. I don't know. That's something I've been thinking about. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure, but I thought it would be kind of cool. All right. So once again, we're in the position where I'm figuring this out as I go and hopefully getting it right. Hmm. Oh yeah. Let me move my mouse out of the way. I apologize. Oh, this mouse. Um, it is a red dragon. Um, wired optical gaming mouse made in China. I needed a new mouse. Um, it's got it pretty simple. I do enjoy that it's got a literally red dragon on it, and it has some buttons that I can change the DPI on it. Um, I just really needed a new mouse, and it was a decent enough price. And red is my favorite, second favorite color. Black and red are a great duo. I should move that out of the way. I forgot that it was that I hadn't moved it. Yeah, it's a red dragon gaming mouse. Centrofus, Centrofus, I believe. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I like it. Um, I can put weights in it if I wanted to, which is kind of cool. No interest in doing that. It's not my jam. Um, okay, so I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm doing this leg properly. So I'm taking my time with it, and I apologize for that. But as always, the second one will go in a lot quicker. Okay, so that goes like that, and that goes like that. That's easy enough. And that goes in there. But figuring out where this part goes is always interesting. Let's just go like that. It goes like that. Yeah, all right. It's a little bit of a guide, and I think I got it. So, the weird thing is, I'm left-handed. I just use the mouse on my right hand. I'm a in that respect, I know that I am odd. That is an odd thing to say, and sometimes people look at me very strangely. I just learned to use my right hand to use the mouse in my right hand because that's how you learn. Like any left-handed person, sometimes you just learn certain things right-handed because it's just easier to learn it right-handed. That's not how I set out. I'm a left-handed person. I just was trained to use my right hand for the mouse because that's where it's positioned on every computer by default. So that's just where I learned it. All right, good. Goes like that. This goes like that. But yeah, I tried to switch for a year and made no progress. Yeah, I just learned that way and never gave up on it. And now I can use my right hand to use the mouse. And I think it would be weird if I used my left hand. Yeah, just thinking about it feels weird. I'm sure I would get used to it, but yeah, that feels weird to me. Oh, look at the middle. Lots of good coloring here. Get to see how all these kits work. Um, I do like. We'll get to it when we look at the weapon. Most Gundams are using like a beam katana, which is usually just like a pole with a weapon on the end of it. And this one looks different. I don't know how to describe it, but we'll take a look at it when we get there. But I always liked how they used the beam weapons in the show. The sword. I always liked the handle on it. All right, let's put some leg pieces together. We need B 29 and B 30 and PC 5. And we're doing both parts of these at the same time because these parts of the leg are identical. So we can just pull them out both. All right, that's 29, 30, and then you do the same thing on the other side. Got an ambidextrous mouse, and that side buttons are on the side for your right hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense that it would still be like, no. I find I don't really use the side buttons much. I occasionally in games I will map things to it. I think I use the track wheel more than anything. Obviously, the left mouse button I use constantly, but I feel like I use the track. I use the track ball wheel constantly. All right, so we're putting this piece in here. I'm putting this piece in there. Got to make sure that we put this in so this slides. So you can see there. So it slides around, moves up and down, does its whole thing. So we're going to make sure that stays in there when we put the other side in and lock it in place. Great, so then it can move around for the armor that'll stick out of that. Great, and then we do the same on the other side. Of course, that's what we got to do. Ooh. There. Yeah, Saturday we'll be back in here doing our normal stream time, same as always. Keep working on the double X, and then yeah, we'll do the heavy arms after that because an anonymous person sent that to me. Hey, if you ever buy anything on my wish list, please let me know if you send it. You can send it in a note. By default, it's anonymous, but you can send in a note that's you, or you could reach out to me on Twitter or something, or through Twitch, and just be like, hey, be on the lookout for this. I bought it. Because it's nice, and I'll, shout you out on stream and all that. All right, so I'm going to put some G pieces on here. And we'll put, we'll put some G on there and some A's. If you had one set to recommend to build, what would it be? So, honestly, it's so dependent on the shows, right? Like, I think your enjoyment really depends on if you like the series, right? Like, as much as I love Gundam Wing, a lot of them are pretty similar. I think the Epion is a beautiful kit, and I love the Epion. I think the Tall Geese 3 is a beautiful kit, and I had a lot of fun putting that together. Yeah, I think the Death Scythe Hell Custom might be my favorite kit. Yeah, so the Star Wars model kits we've built, I did not really enjoy any of the model kits I built because I've only done the X-Wing fighters, but I didn't really enjoy either of those. The Lego sets, I certainly enjoyed building. Let's see. I think my favorite Lego set. I mean, yeah, the IBO 1100 kits are all the same, FYI. Yeah, they all feel the same. That's why I don't have any more on my wish list, I don't think, because they all looked pretty similar in their design. I would say I really liked, as far as Lego goes, I mean, the Millennium Falcon is incredible. 2011 Millennium Falcon. That's an incredible kit that I was so happy to build. But I also love the the Lego kit I really liked is the ATST because it's so tall. It's a weirdly shaped, like, because of the size of it, for the size of the amount of pieces in a kit, it's oddly very tall, and I think it looked super cool and was fun to put together. So I would say that I really like the ATST as far as Lego kits that I've built. It might be my favorite Lego kit we've built, other than how incredible it was to build the Millennium Falcon. And then as far as Gundam kits, I really like the Epion. The Master Grade Epion was a very fun kit to put together. The Twin Dragon look of it, and the energy weapon, and all of the weird little tiny pieces in that. And the Master Gundam from G Gundam is such a beautiful kit. It was such a pain to do. I wish I had done it. I wish I had more time in my building to get better at building, because I hadn't built in so long. I feel like I made some mistakes on that kit. Uh, but it's such a beautiful kit. Um, one of these days I'll track down the horse for it. Although I did, send it out, so I don't have it anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of kits that I really enjoyed working on over the years, or the year, I should say, years in time that I've been building. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, ATST, Epion, or Tall Geese, probably. Um, I think doing a full mechanics is cool. I think doing a real grades, the two real grades I've done have been kind of cool. The full mechanics, the 1/100, so they're like a master grade scale, but they're more like a high grade or like a real grade. I think those are interesting. I wouldn't mind putting another one of those together, even if they are very similar. Um, Still wouldn't mind doing another one of those because that was pretty fun. All right. Putting on some gold accent pieces here. And then that one like that. That was pretty cool. Those look pretty cool. And then more G. And we have to do the same thing on the other side. So let's just do that. Okay. Getting a little sleepy here. It's been a long week for me. This is the start of my weekend. Usually I don't work on Thursdays, but I did pull in some shifts and had some business stuff to do earlier today. So I am a little more sleepy than normal. So I will probably clunk off in a couple minutes. We're going to finish up this portion of the legs, but that'll probably be it for the day. And then on Saturday, we'll continue to build our double X. This is like a really hot looking kit. Happy to work on it. Goes there. Okay. And then do that for the other side and do these over here. I'm looking forward to doing that Gohan eventually. I think it'll be fun it's been fun to do those. I mean, they're very quick. They're very easy to put together. But I think they're like, it's like 1.5 streams, basically 2 streams at the most. But they're very fun. So I'm excited to do another one of those because the first one was really enjoyable. So I have high hopes for the other one, or the other, this one. And now I'll have Goku and Krillin and Gohan. And that's fun. I'd still like to do that. There's a which one is it? Oh, there's a Vegeta that also has the pod, which is kind of cool. The Frieza's ship pod, and that's kind of a neat thing. I wouldn't mind building one of those at some point. All right, what am I doing wrong here? There we go. Put that on there. Just got to put on some armor here. Just put on some leg armor. Great, and we'll just do the same thing on this side, and then we'll call it a stream. Yeah, I'm going to pull off a little early tonight. I'm feeling a little tired and running out of stuff to talk about, which I apologize for. But I will be back on Saturday, this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with another stream. So come back for that. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I think the stream went well. It was pretty quiet, but I think we got some stuff done on this kit, and it's starting to look pretty cool. And we'll keep working on it, right? That's the goal anyway, is to keep building and keep doing and all that. So I hope you'll join me on Saturday. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow if you haven't for updates. Twitter.com/PatBaer. Twitch.tv/PatBaer. YouTube.com/PatBaer. All the usuals. I don't have a Facebook fan page. I don't have anything like that. Patreon, if you're on my Patreon, you have plans the night before college graduation. Heck yeah. Happy to be part of your plans. But thank you for those that subscribed today, those that followed, those that told a friend about it. And I'll see you on Saturday for another stream. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday night. Goodbye, everybody.